Embark on a journey through Japanese folklore as we reveal the hair-raising urban legend of Teke-Teke, a vengeful spirit haunting the darkness. The story of Teke-Teke begins with a tragic accident involving a young woman who met a gruesome fate under a speeding train. Her spirit, consumed by rage and sorrow, returns as a malevolent apparition seeking revenge. She appears as a horrifying sight, a torso dragging itself across the ground with long, sharp claws, making a spine-chilling tek-tek sound. Legends tell of her relentless pursuit of unsuspecting victims, especially those who stay out late at night. If she catches you, there's no escape. Some believe she cuts her victims in half, mirroring her own dreadful demise, while others say she drags them to the underworld, where their souls are trapped forever. Be warned! If you ever hear the haunting teke-teke sound echoing in the darkness, run as fast as you can, for teke-teke might be right behind you. This spine-tingling tale continues to send shivers down the spines of those who dare to wander the eerie streets of Japan at night.
This is the most terrifying bathroom of all time. This is hidden inside a bar in Japan, and it's a massive face facing a toilet. There's a pressure sensor on this toilet so that when someone sits down, the face will start singing a drunken tune and come towards you until your kneecaps are eventually kissed by this face.
It's a Japanese superstition that you should never cut your nails at night because it opens you up, your flesh, to spirits to come inside of you.
Whoa,
Pause. There's this like ritualistic game in Japan that used to play. It's called Hattori Kakurenbo. That translates to hide and seek alone. So the way you play, you get a doll and you slice it open. And when you slice it open, you take your fingernail clippings and a prick of blood and put it inside of the doll. And you need specifically like red thread to sew it up together, right? Apparently what happens is the doll will start to play hide and seek with you. So what you tell it 3, 2, 1, I'm ready to play. And you start playing with it. You say, you're it. And then once you say it the third time, it's going to start looking for you around the house.
And what if it finds you?
This is what's so on Reddit, there are these 2 girls. They lived in Japan and they're like college students. They decided to play it. Fuck, bro. What happened was,
There is no way in 1,000 years you'd be able to guess what's happening in this photo. Yes, it does look like the apartment of a former frat boy who can't decorate, but it's actually a still from the most evil reality television show to ever exist, where this man was kept in this apartment naked with no food for 15 months, while 17 million people in Japan tuned in. It's also the subject of tonight's episode, so let's dive in. So this is called Sweepstakes Life, and it was a show in Japan in the 90s. To cast the show, a group of men were told to come to a casting office with no other information. A box with a question mark was then wheeled into the room, and each of the men had to pull an envelope. This guy, Nasubi, is the guy that gets the winning slip, and this is where his nightmare begins. He was immediately blindfolded and thrown in the back of a car, where he was brought to this apartment and told to strip. This is also where he's told that anything he needs to survive needs to be won in sweepstakes that are in those magazines, meaning he couldn't eat anything until he won it, which didn't happen for 2 weeks. He wouldn't be let out of the apartment until he won 1 million yen worth of prizes, and he had no idea it would take him over a year to do so. I'm gonna have to do another part to this story, but check out tonight's episode for more.
I honestly hope that if you are watching this right now, it is not dark and you are not alone, because I'm going to be telling you 3 true scary Japanese horror stories that actually may make you shit yourself. So the first story centers around a woman that lurks in the gaps in your rooms. Her name is quite literally Tsukima Onna, or the Gap Woman. So you know how you have gaps or like crevices, like say under your bed, you may have a crack under there. She could be lurking under there, or under your doorway, she could be right there. So in Japan, there was one man, typical office worker, and his coworker started noticing that he was not showing up to work that week, which is very unusual for him. When they went to his house, or his apartment at the time, they noticed that he was very unkept. The apartment was just in disarray. And when they asked him what was wrong, he said he did not want to leave her alone, referring to the Gap woman. And this is one of the ways she tends to target people. I saw someone doing setting powder before they applied their makeup and stuff, so we're gonna try it out. But anyways, so the main two ways she targets you is when she has her eyes set on you, then you're done. So the first way is what the man had went through. You don't leave your home and you just become emaciated and basically a shell of yourself. Like you just kind of deteriorate over time without leaving your home. And the second way is she just drags you to hell. Now, right now, you may be wondering, how can I avoid this woman? And to be quite frank with you, you can't. As I said earlier, you're gonna have gaps in your home. It's completely normal. I have cracks and gaps all over my room. Now, if she decides to pay you a visit, well, good luck. Now, the next story is a bit more on the creepier side. This one talks about a lady who was stuck at an abandoned train station, or actually a train station that didn't even exist. Now, the story of Kisaragi Station was posted onto 2chan in 2004 by a woman by the name of Hasumi. And it's a series of threads that documents her experience, like pretty much like live, like as she's going through it, and asking and reaching out for help from fellow 2chan users. Now, this thread was titled "Post About Strange Occurrences Around You," thread 26, and it starts off with Hasumi explaining how she awoke in a train carriage and all of the passengers were asleep. Now, this is the start, or this marks the start of the strange events that were about to unfold into the night for her. Now, if you guys don't know, train rides can be pretty long, so it's not okay, sorry, my dog just whatever. It's not abnormal to sleep, but to have everyone simultaneously asleep when you're the only one awake, that's odd. Now, this train ride was her usual commute to work, but her and other users were sharing the same concerns and confusion because it was just very abnormal. And she could also not get a hold of any of the workers on board, like the conductor or, the person that kind of goes down the aisles and asks if you need anything. She couldn't get a hold of any of those people. Now, after about an hour or so, the train finally made a stop at Kisaragi Station. And after Hasumi had posted this update, users began commenting how there was no such station and they were giving her advice on how to get out. So she immediately tried to locate a taxi, but her efforts were proved futile when she couldn't locate any other signs of life nearby aside from the people that were already at the station or on the train. So she eventually locates a telephone booth and dials her parents, but her parents can also not locate her at all. So they advised her to go dial emergency services in Japan. And once she had dialed in, they thought it was a prank. So they kind of left her hanging basically. So eventually, after this occurrence happened with the telephone and trying to call for help, Asumi noticed that there was almost a festival of some sorts going on, but she got a very strange and ominous feeling, and it scared her enough to where she ran onto nearby train tracks and tried to escape through there. And someone yelled out to her, "Don't do that, it's dangerous." And when she turned around, she saw a one-legged man, and he was an apparition who vanished almost as quickly as she saw him. This scared her even further, and she ran through a tunnel, which when she made it out, she found a mysterious man. Now, although she found it very weird, the man was very friendly and offered Hasumi, help to get out of there. So she followed him, but over time he began to become more and more quiet, which she found very odd and, just unsettling overall. And then eventually she updated, which was her last update to the forum, that the man was talking to himself about bizarre things and that her phone battery was running out, so it would be her last update. And then after that, the story ends there, which, wow. And our final story is the cursed Kleenex commercial that aired in the mid-80s in Japan, but it was rumored to be cursed. And let's get more into that. So the cursed Kleenex commercial features a woman dressed like she has the white dress on and a child painted in red depicted as an oni. And for those of you who don't know, an oni is basically like a troll in Japanese folklore. There's even a game based around an oni. It's, you know, like a purple one. I can include a picture. Maybe you guys recognize it. But anyways, let's get back to the story. So a lot of viewers found this ad to be very disturbing, and this led to it being pulled off air. And although the lyrics are in English, a lot of people also believed that the lyrics were actually a rough translation in German, which meant die, die, everyone is cursed and will die, which further like fueled people's like, you know, scared levels, however you say it. Now, further rumors had stated that the red body paint that was used on the child who was depicted as the Oni had actually passed away due to the paint, and the actress who was in the white dress in the commercial had a really severe breakdown and was institutionalized and also gave birth to a demon baby. Also, too, if you happen to watch this commercial at midnight on the dot, it actually becomes very distorted and overall just even more creepy than it originally is. Now, do I have the balls to test this out for myself? No, but if any of you lovely people want to like comment if it works, be my guest. You know, I will give you a hug or something. I don't know, but I'm not doing it. Also, happy fucking October, you guys. This is like one of my favorite months. So we're gonna be amping up the content with the like scary shit and more true crime stuff. Because you know what? It's October and I am so excited for Halloween. Oh my fucking God. But anyways, you guys have a great day. It is my self-care day. So I'm logging out now, but you guys enjoy the rest of your day.
Have you ever heard of the Japanese urban legend of Yuki-onna? Yuki-onna, or the Snow Woman, is a popular figure in Japanese folklore. According to the legend, Yuki-onna appears on snowy nights as a beautiful woman with pale skin, dressed in a white kimono, and with long black hair. She is often described as an otherworldly being with an ethereal and mesmerizing presence. The origins of the Yuki-onna legend can be traced back to various folk tales and accounts that have been passed down through generations in Japan. The specific details of the legend may vary depending on the region or storyteller, but certain characteristics remain consistent across different versions. In most tales, Yuki-onna is depicted as a vengeful spirit associated with winter and snowstorms. She is said to appear to travelers or lost individuals in remote snow-covered areas. Yuki-onna's behavior towards humans varies. Sometimes, she is portrayed as a malevolent spirit, while in other stories, she exhibits a more benign or even compassionate nature. One common motif in Yuki-onna legends is her ability to manipulate snow and ice. She can create blizzards or cold gusts of wind, and in some accounts mention her ability to freeze her victims with a touch. Despite her supernatural powers, Yuki-onna is often depicted as a tragic figure. Some tales portray her as the spirit of a woman who died in the snow or was abandoned by her lover, while others suggest that she is a yokai, a supernatural creature or ghost.
This is the scariest Japan urban legend.
Ooh.
Manto. And this urban legend says that it haunts the bathroom stalls in Japan. Just like, it's certain ones. It's only the bathroom stalls that look a little bit ran down. While you're in this bathroom, if you happen to run out of toilet paper, you'll see a man in a mask. And he will give you two options. He will ask you, do you want red paper or blue paper? Depending on your answer is how you die. Red paper means that he will basically cover the stall in blood, and not just anybody's blood, your blood.
That's fucked.
If you choose blue paper, then he will suffocate you and drain you of all your blood. You will look blue afterwards from lack of oxygen.
I don't think I'm choosing one.
Have you ever heard of the Japanese urban legend of Rokurokubi? Rokurokubi is a type of yokai, a supernatural creature from Japanese folklore. They are depicted as female spirits with long necks that can stretch and contort at will. They are known for their ability to appear as normal humans during the day and transform into their true form at night. According to legend, Rokurokubi were once humans who, through various circumstances, became cursed with this supernatural ability. Some stories suggest that they were cursed by the gods as punishment for their misdeeds, while others suggest that they were cursed by evil spirits. Rokurokubi are often portrayed as seductive women who lure men to their deaths, using their long necks to wrap around their victims' necks and strangle them. Other legends describe them as mischievous spirits who delight in scaring people and causing chaos. Despite their sinister reputation, not all Rokurokubi are evil. Some stories depict them as victims of their curse, longing to be freed from their supernatural affliction. Others show them as helpful spirits who aid humans in their time of need. Have you ever heard of the Japanese urban legend of the Tiki-Tiki? Tiki-Tiki is a Japanese urban legend that is both famous and terrifying. According to the legend, Tiki-Tiki is the ghost of a young woman who was cut in half by a train while walking on the railroad tracks. She is said to have lost her lower body in the accident and now haunts the area where she died, seeking revenge on those who cross her path. The name Tiki-Tiki comes from the sound she makes as she drags herself along the ground with her arms. She is said to wear a long white dress and to carry a scythe or a sharp object which she uses to attack her victims. Encounters with Tiki-Tiki are said to be terrifying and often fatal. Some versions of the legend suggest that if you hear the sound of her dragging herself along the ground, you must run and never look back, or she will catch you and cut you in half with her scythe. Other versions of the legend suggest that Tiki-Tiki will offer you her lower half to replace your own legs, but if you accept the offer, she will drag you to your death. The legend of the Tiki-Tiki is often told as a cautionary tale to discourage children from playing on or near railway tracks, but it is also a popular subject of horror stories and movies in Japan.
Japanese folk songs are scary. For example, Kagome Kagome. So for those of you who don't know, it goes Kagome Kagome kago no naka no tori wa itsu itsu de yaru yoake no ban ni tsuru to kame ga tsubetta ushiro no shomen dare. So one urban legend speculates that the song is low-key about a pregnant woman. Kago no naka no tori as in like a baby in a womb. Itsu itsu de yaru as in like when is it gonna pop out? Now here's where it gets dark. Tsuru to kame ga tsubetta as in the pregnant woman tripped and fell. Ushiro no shomen dare implies there's someone behind her who pushed her. According to that urban legend, it was the mother-in-law who pushed her. This is like a song kids play games to. Is nothing safe from urban legends?
If a masked woman in Japan asks you if she's beautiful, be careful how you respond. It could be Kuchisake Onna. Some people call her the slit-mouthed woman. She was abused and mutilated during her lifetime. It's said that her husband cut a smile on his face from ear to ear. She now haunts the streets of Japan wearing a mask and rusty scissors, asking people one question: if they think she's beautiful or not.
You think I'm beautiful?
Yeah.
Do you still think I'm beautiful?
What happened to you? Comment down below, smash or pass. By the way, a lot of y'all keep asking how's Gizmo. He is 14 years old now. Let's give him a biggie. Oh, you like the biggie. If you encounter her, please be careful how you answer her question. If you say yes, she'll take her mask off and ask you again. And if you say yes one more time, she'll cut you a smile on your face just like hers. Oh, and if you say no, she'll unalive you right there and then. So what do? How do you survive? 1,000 IQ right here. Tell her she aight. I mean, girl, you aight. You know what I'm saying? You cool. Like, I smashed, but could we put a bag over your face? The other way to survive is to throw money at her, which she'll stop to pick up, giving you enough time to run away. My lord, this smoothie is unequivocally f***ing buzzing.
Do not attempt anything described in this video. Please.
Ushi no Toki, or the Hour of the Ox, is the period of darkest night in Japanese folklore.
Around 2 a.m. to 2:30, the period between the world of the living and the world of the dead is said to be the thinnest, and this is the easiest time to contact those on the other side. Ushi no Toki Mairi is a shrine visit that takes place during this time, specifically to put a curse on your enemies. Step 1. Gather attire. Wear all white. Also wear getter shoes like the ones pictured in these images. Get a cast iron trivet like the one pictured and turn it upside down and wear it like a crown. Stick lit candles on the legs. Step 2, gather your supplies. You'll need a wara ningyo, or a straw doll, and hair, fingernails, or a photo of the person you want to curse to stick into the doll. You'll need a 6-inch iron nail and a hammer as well. Step 3, go to a shrine during Ushi no Toki, find the shrine's sacred tree, and nail the straw doll to the tree, effectively breaking the barrier between the world of the living and the spirit world. Step 4, repeat this for 7 nights. You must not be seen. Any witnesses must not live to see the daylight, or the curse will rebound on the caster. If the ritual is completed successfully, the cursed victim will meet a terrible misfortune or even death. Kifune Shrine in Kyoto is a well-known location for this ritual. Even today, temple officials will find straw dolls nailed to the trees by people seeking revenge.